keeping from a lot of the private consulting that I've been doing. Obviously, we do a lot of things at this company, and one of the things we do is hourly consulting on social media. We're just going to kind of go through what a lot of my clients are voicing their concerns over, and really just address these questions and go through and try to give you the answers. So the first question we get almost every time, and it's really a good question, is, okay, I'm posting on my Facebook business page. Does it go to my personal page? Where does it actually go? So I think it's important right off the bat to understand that you have two separate pages. You have your business page and you have your personal page, okay? So you have two separate pages, and each page is unique. It's not connected to either or. Up top, you will see a button that is called Home, okay? What the Home button is a button that takes you to your feed, okay? So this is where you're going to see all of the things that people are posting. The things that are going to show up here are things from people you're friends with and businesses that you're a fan of. So as an example, I'm friends with Heidi Bushko. She posted this parade picture. It's showing up on my news feed. I am a fan of Star Wars, okay, the Star Wars page. They posted, it's showing up on my feed. So I guess my point is when you go to your business page and you post something, it is going to go to all of the people that have liked your page, okay? So you see I have about 2,025. When I post, it's going to their home, to their news ticker, to their feed. It is also getting stationed on my page. So really, it's going to two places. It's getting stationed on my business page wall, and it's going not to my feed, but to all the people that have liked the page's feed, just like that Star Wars post. Now, I think what confuses people is you actually can like your own page. So when you post and you're a fan of your own business page, it's going to show up on your feed as well. Okay? So it's not showing up on your personal page. It's just showing up on your feed because you're a fan of the business page. And that's where people get jittery, they get crazy. I get the funniest phone calls. But I think my point is when you post on your business page, it goes two places. It gets stationed on the wall of the business page, and it goes to all the people that are fans of the page. Now, just to kind of reverse it, and maybe this makes more sense, when you post on your personal page, same thing happens. It gets put on your wall, and it goes to all of your friends' feed. Okay, so the same thing with the business page. Instead of friends, though, it goes to fans, gets stationed on the wall. Next question. What does it mean to boost my posts? So probably about a year and a half ago, Facebook, when they went public, they looked for ways to make more money, okay? And advertising was a path that they invested in. So when you guys start posting, you're going to see that there's a button right here that says Boost, okay? And long story short, it means pay money to have this post go to more people than just your fans, okay? And in my opinion, boosting can be really good. It can help you get your post out to a bigger targeted audience. But that being said, I would never just do it impulsively, okay? I would have a really good game plan if you're going to boost. First, I would do it a few times and spend very little money just to get a feeling for how it works. And then if I was to post, I would use some pretty good strategy. In the post, I would have what's called a landing page created. So maybe it's just a page on your website, Bob's Insurance / free consultation. But my point is I would have some sort of link that people could click on if they were interested in what you were doing. I would not use boosting to try to get more likes. I don't think that works. I would not just, have a boost where you want someone to call you. I don't think that works. I would have some sort of landing page with a link that people can click on, get more information, fill out a form, and I feel long-term that that's going to get you more results. But basically what boosting is, again, is you're going to pay some money, And your post is going to go to people who are not friends with you and who are not fans of your business. It's going to go to an expanded audience. How do I remove bad reviews from my business page? So I've had a few clients, they've had, for whatever reason, they've had people leave bad reviews on their page. You can see that I have kind of a star rating here. I have 17 reviews. People can click on it and, obviously see reviews. To remove these reviews, what you need to do is go to your page and click on the About button. Then click on Page Info. And again, I'll record this. I'll send it to anyone who needs it. And then click on Address and click on Edit. In your address, and I don't know why they put it here, but you'll see a little box and a little verbiage here that says Show Map and Show Ratings, Star Ratings. If you uncheck that, it will remove all the reviews from your profile and they won't show up. So you can get rid of them, I guess is my point. What is the best way to get more likes or more fans on my Facebook business page? Obviously, this is the million-dollar question. And, in my opinion, and we've talked about it a little bit in the past, it's always good to try to, connect with as many people as possible and then, invite those people to become fans using the invite button. That's good, but eventually you tap that out. I think the real way to get thousands of people following you is, one, make sure you're posting every day, okay? Because the content becomes the draw. It becomes the value. If you have a page where you haven't posted and you try to, let's say you try to brag about your page, nobody's going to see any value in it. They're not going to waste their time liking it. So step one is to make sure you're constantly posting, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Post good information, tips, updates. Maybe you're just posting, silly pictures of clowns. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I guess my point is there's really no right answer on Facebook what your posting strategy should be. But there needs to be something on there that people say, oh, this is good. I like this. I want to get this information. So that's the first step. The second step is I think you have to do some what I call external marketing. Maybe it's using email. Maybe it's just word of mouth, every person you're talking to. But I think you have to do some promotion to get people there. I have seen a lot of results in people posting promotional stuff in their newsletter. They kind of say, hey, look, our insurance agency is ahead of the curve. We're innovative. We're using social media as a way to keep you up to date with claims information and payments and certificates and all that kind of stuff. Just go to facebook.com/Bob's Insurance and click like to receive our free updates each day. So my point is in their email newsletter, they are occasionally, probably once a quarter, writing a specific article about their social media presence and why it makes their agency different. I have some other people that just send out an email about that. But I think email marketing is a great way to start. To really get at least 30 to 50% of your client base following you, because that's really where the referrals come from. They come from your clients, and it's so important to to obviously get those people liking the page. Next question is about pictures, and there's always a lot of debate on whether you should be using pictures when you post and when you don't. In my opinion, pictures are very important. Again, when you go to your feed, and it's important to understand, I think it's important to understand when you do post what actually is happening. So like I said, when you post, it's showing up on all the people that have liked the page's feed. So like me, I'm kind of just, we'll call it surfing Facebook, right? And, when I'm surfing Facebook, you look for things that stand out. And here's a good post with kind of a silly picture, and I'm immediately drawn to this little child toy because I think my daughter has the same thing. But anyway, pictures are important. They help your post stand out. Even though you may be writing 2 or 3 sentences that are very articulate about retirement planning or Medicare or commercial insurance, any type of, I guess my point is as people are surfing Facebook, they may scroll right by your post because they don't see it. They get drawn to this picture of bacon. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds silly, but that's kind of how people's minds work. So you need to, I think, have some sort of picture to get people to lock into your post and then read it. So again, my suggestion, I would always have a picture. Remember that people aren't looking at the post on your Facebook page. They're looking at it on their news feed. So your post is competing against other posts, and obviously a picture helps it stand out. Next question. I've heard a lot of different strategies on what types of things I should post. What works best? Again, another million-dollar question, and I give you the politician answer. I think at the end of the day, when you post, you have to be creative. Obviously, you have to use common sense. But I don't think there's anything right or wrong, and I don't think there's any type of strategy that is a home run. I think it's different for everyone. And again, I go right back to the thing I said about the posting. Remember, when you're posting, it's going to the people that are following your page. So first question to ask yourself is who are those people? What types of people are they? What types of posts give me the highest percentage chance of them caring about them? So I think that becomes important. And I guess my point is you probably have different people following your posts than I do. So a picture of, me getting a hole-in-one in golf may be fantastic for me, but for you, no one cares. So I guess my point is that it's different for everyone. There isn't an official blueprint to success. I think that everyone has a different crowd watching them. Everyone has to kind of have a different strategy. What I suggest is be creative, trial and error. The thing with social media is you always live for another day. So maybe you do something today that doesn't get paid attention to or doesn't work. You make a mental note of it. You try something different tomorrow. There usually is, as long as you're using common sense and you're posting good stuff, you're not going to have any negative ramifications of this. The worst thing that can happen is it just doesn't get as many views as you hoped. You come back again tomorrow and you try something different. That's kind of how I found my niche and how I found what was successful. And I constantly do it today, always trying different things, always kind of, just beta testing, trial and error, trial and error. So my point is if you're just getting started with posting, as long as you're posting politically correct things and using common sense, don't have any fear of what you're posting. Be creative and try your best. On the flip side, just post once or twice a day. Don't go crazy. Don't post 15 things in an hour. That makes, that gets people mad and makes it look bad. But I guess, I think the hardest part is just bringing that consistency to the table. So, guys, hopefully this was helpful. I tried to bring some pretty good questions to the table. And, next week we're going to switch back and talk a little bit more about LinkedIn and go from there. Thanks again. Have a great week.